Hello, everyone, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Stories About Fear, episode number 70. We have Dreams Come True When Networks with Priscilla Schelp. And networks is our goal for today because we have a very, very special wonderful lady with us, Priscilla Schelp, that has created networks. And since I read her biography on LinkedIn just a few hours ago, I really took the time to analyze everything, to look through her website. My mind went on holiday because let me tell you a bit about networks. It sources, prequalifies, and matches industry trailblazers and visionaries with exclusive business, service, golf, yacht. Okay, great idea for a holiday, right? Automobile and arts clubs around the world, with a network spanning national and European parliaments, diplomacy, the United Nations, foundations, venture capital, startups, research, and education. Priscilla gives people the chance to be at the right time, meeting the right people. About my amazing guest today, that I was so privileged to exchange a few ideas before about happiness, about life, about the trap of happiness, which, wow, what a deep thought. She is the CEO and founder of Networks, a lead generation platform for exclusive clubs around the world. And you know, Priscilla, as I was reading your biography, now I understand your amazing stories on Instagram, on TikTok. Welcome, Priscilla Schelp. What a great honor to have you with us today. How are you?
I'm very well, Roxana. And actually, when you introduced networks and me, I had goosebumps. So next time I don't introduce myself, I will ask you to do it. That was touching in a way. So thanks. And I really enjoyed our conversation before. And I'm looking forward, to exchanging more thoughts with you and hopefully, adding value to everyone that listens to us now.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here. And since you are someone that enjoys networking, since you know the value of bringing people together, the value of connecting meaningful business relationships, can you please maybe start by telling us how it all began, all about networks, and who is Priscilla Schelp?
Okay, that are a lot of questions. So maybe you need to ask me some parts again. So when you say that and introduce me that way, I feel very flattered, but actually I'm not a natural. So when I was young, I was very introvert, very shy. I was awkward around people. I was bullied in kindergarten and in school. And I was very scared of rejection, and I had for a long time, even until a few years ago, a very low self-confidence. And actually all these things like being shy, being introvert is all not a problem for networking. And I feel like in society there's this this how can I say this? The perception is like you're born and you're good at it if you're an extrovert, and if you're an introvert, you're not good at it. And that's not true. It's actually a skill like every other skill that you can learn, and I'm the best example of it. So I learned, and I like through different ways, like I read articles like the top 10 ways how to connect with people, and I would pick a point. I would practice it for a week or 2 weeks until I would be good at it, and then I would take the next point. So it's like other people learning, I don't know, how to build a wardrobe or something. I approached it in the same way and I became really good at it. And I mean, obviously I'm still an introvert, I'm still shy, but yeah, I learned how to do it. And I think what also is really important to have a healthy self-confidence. So I worked on that. That took me longer than my networking skills, actually. So I want to encourage everyone that you can learn it. And it's like everyone can learn it. And I read a book, it's called Outliers recently. And apparently it's not about huge talent. But what's really important that people that are an expert, like a painter, like an artist, or a piano player, or programmer, what they have in common that they spend 10,000 hours doing it. So the only thing you need to do to learn networking is like literally go out there and do it. And I think that's quite cool.
It actually is. I love it. You know, I mostly do these days all sorts of lives on social media talking about fear and stress in business. And one of the topics, and that's why I was so excited when I hear you say about learning skills, because we are not born with it. It's not Maybelline, right? We are not born with it.
Yeah.
We simply need to learn, like it's writing, like it's a foreign language, like mathematics or biology or any other thing that we are interested in. Thank you for saying that. And since you mentioned skills, Priscilla, and you have such an amazing different type of business which brings people together. For someone that's maybe at the beginning of their journey as an entrepreneur, what would you say that the number one skill for them should be? What should they focus on?
There are two things, like three things. I think the basis is you need to really, really, like the basis for everything in life, for personal life, like a successful personal life, professional life, is self-confidence. You need to believe in yourself, because if you don't do, and you need that results in you needing constant validation, you not being able to handle if something goes wrong, you questioning yourself, and it literally eats you up from the inside, and it makes you a play ball. So I give you an example. Even until the beginnings of my startup, I was not that self-confident, and I actually wrote a book about it. It's called Become Your Super Self, where I kind of noted, like, it's like a book where I noted down the exercise that helped me to get where I am now. But so basically, for example, I had my business idea, and every time I would tell a person about it, or would have a chat with an investor or incubator, I was so scared what people might say. And if they didn't like, and actually a lot of people, because it's very new, thought like, I one person told me it's the most unnecessary idea they ever heard. For example, and it would literally tear me apart, because I would take it personal. I would question myself. I would question my idea. And since I have become more confident, I know I'm good. I know I have ADHD. I made a lot of like tiny mistakes, and like in big four companies, they didn't appreciate it. So but by knowing myself that I'm good, I'm a good person, I'm really good at the things I do. My idea is good, and like really starting believing in myself, it makes you very independent of the feedback of other people, and makes you independent of how things go, because it's just temporary. But you will be fine. Like, you are good, and it does not make you question you every time, because the thing is, if you don't have that, your emotional state goes like, it's like a total roller coaster, and it destroys you, like, especially as a founder. It's like I felt that it's like, if I can't manage my emotions better, and the basis for that is actually becoming more self-confident, results in that managing the emotions better, because you aren't triggered all the time. It literally, you can't do it. You need to go back to being an employee. And yeah, so I think that's the biggest foundation. The other thing is, you need to build up a network, and a network is not like a lamp that you can switch on or off. So you need to build up a network, and at the beginning it might grow slowly, but the effects will be exponential. So I built my network up, and it's like, and building up a network doesn't mean using other people, but giving first, generally being interested in people, and start building up, like literally from this moment now that you hear it, start doing it. So especially, for example, if you're a founder and you want to raise investment, you don't start approaching investors when you need investment. You're building up contacts to them, you're building up trust, you're seeing how you can help them, and at some point, if you need their help, they will also help you. But that's literally, and especially like nowadays, it's much harder to get investment because, you know, economy, and people are more risk averse, and the Silicon Valley Bank and all these things. And so this means that many of you that are founders or want to become founders will be bootstrapping. This means you don't have a big marketing budget. That means you will need to use social media, you will need to leverage partnerships. And actually, I bootstrapped my company until now for the last 2 years, and I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have, you know, built up my reputation on LinkedIn, and would, you know, have built up my tribe and my network. And that didn't happen by me going out there using people, but really, you know, building genuine connections, and always, like, it's literally one tribe that we all support each other. And an ideal, and that's why I have networks, the whole world looks like it, because competition in most cases is just in our head. It's you know, the future will be about collaboration, co-creation, about tribes, about communities. And literally, this competition thought, it just comes from scarcity, and it comes from lack of self-confidence, and this causes jealousy, insecurities, and all these things. And that's why I say the root cause of most bad in the world is like a bad ego. And I don't want to I don't want to hint to certain politicians, but I think you know what I mean. So yeah.
Wow. You said so many wisdom bombs that my mind was, wow, I have so many questions to ask you. We only have around half an hour, which is not fair because we definitely need to have another talk, Priscilla. This is amazing what you just said about the things that other people tell you. Everything is temporary, and it just makes so much sense to what we discussed before when you said that you just cannot rely on other things to make you happy, because it's the happiness trap. It's when you think of the gap between you being happy when you have that certain thing, the business, the income, whatever it is, it's destroying you, as you said, because you're never present. You're always tormenting yourself. How can I get there? I'm not there yet. I'm hustling for 2 years, for 3 years. By the way, Priscilla, how long it took you to build such a beautiful network? What is the story around networks?
Oh yeah, so I was so actually as a kid I squinted and it didn't help as a kid, I tell you. I had done a surgery at a certain age, and I was not the most popular kid. I was very introvert, but I realized that, like, in kindergarten I was like always artsy, living in my own world. But like at latest, when you go to school, you realize you can't escape reality, right? So, and I didn't like the position I was at, and then I wanted to learn, you know, what makes people like other people, how do people interact, how do you build successful friendships or relationships. And I kind of learned that. And I think what was a very helpful, I always had that approach that people, like, okay, I was going then to school in Germany, and everyone was complaining about politics, about the weather. And I thought, okay, guys, you can't complain. That won't change anything. So do something. So that is one thing I can recommend you. If you're going into an active position out of your victim mindset, it will increase your happiness because you feel you're trapped, but you are in control. You can do something. And what happened, I went into politics. I was with 17 years in the political trainee program of the leading party in the country. And then I realized I can't really change things as much as I want. And I did all kind of other voluntary work. And because of that, I got then a junior management award from one of the leading business clubs, where all the owner families of big family businesses sit in. And that was the beginning that was my first club. Because like my family is like a normal family. We are not like rich or influential or connected, like nothing. My parents are nice people, but yeah. And then I went into risk and crisis management to make the world better, and moved across the world, and I always found other clubs. And actually the voluntary work where you connect with people that care about more than just themselves was really nice. That's a good indicator. And also in the clubs, I would meet so many interesting people that are so ahead of me from different areas. And I think the more important thing, a lot of people think about connections very transactional. I'm giving something, I'm expecting something back from the person. That's a transaction. But that's not how it works. But in the end, like, you are meeting all these people, and at some point you are meeting them the first time. And that point of time, you don't know what will happen, how the relationship will develop. Maybe you're not becoming friends with a person, but this person recommends you to someone else, and this person recommends you to someone else, and you get a job. So it's like, do you know this surprise eggs or Kinder eggs? And there's like this chocolate egg with a toy inside. And basically every person you meet is like this surprise egg. You have no idea what comes out of it. You meet other people through it. And this way you give your life the opportunity to surprise you and to make your life awesome. So the more people you meet and the more you go out there, try to get to know them, try to make their life better, the more comes back. And it usually doesn't come back like from the person you gave something to, but from somewhere. And it's really amazing, because it makes you, the more you do that, the more amazing your life gets, the more amazing people you attract. And that's why I'm most grateful for the amazing people I have around me, or for example, that we met. And it starts happening more and more to you. And it makes you believe, and it makes you keep your faith that life is good, and that people are good, and that you can change something, and that people support each other. And I'm nearly having tears in my eyes, but it really, it's like, if it makes you really grateful. And I think the one thing is also, is like, be grateful for what you have, focus on the good people, and ignore the rest. Like, a lot of people get hung up focusing on all the people that annoy them, or on stuff that they don't like, and then just let it go. You don't need to. So the thing is, people around you are like a family of choice. You can choose them, and you can also choose to let them go. I think one of the biggest keys to a good social surrounding is choosing the right people. And if you, I don't say ditch someone immediately, but if you feel someone's not good for you, spend less time with them, see them less frequently. Because the thing is, I have a big heart, and I have, like, I was with friends, they were always miserable. It doesn't matter how many good things happen. And the truth is, you can't save anyone. And that was a really hard lesson that took me a long time. But the likelihood that someone pulls you down is much higher than you can pull them up. You can just pull them up if they want, but they need to make this inner decision that they don't want to be miserable again. So generally, stick around people that are kind, that have a good heart, that want to have an impact, that don't just think about themselves, and see the good in the world, see the good in people, that collaborate. And I think one of the biggest secrets, not really secrets, but ways to have a good life.
Wow. Listening to you, Priscilla, just makes me so grateful that you are here with us today. This is so beautiful, and it got me emotional as well. And I have to thank you for being so vulnerable and so open. And as I'm learning more about your wonderful mission, now it makes sense why you have that beautiful motto on your website for a bright future. It just sounds so
Yeah.
good because you just cannot be alone in this world. And it, as you explained it, it makes all the sense because the quality of your life, and even Tony Robbins says that, right, is the quality of your relationships. So invest in the people that you have around you. Give and offer. And I truly enjoyed what you said before we started our talk. And now I realize so many wisdom bombs before we even started the episode. Next time, I just need to remember to record everything since we say hi until the very end, because you said something so beautiful that you want to offer value, you want to help, you want to give. And indeed, it just makes you have hope for humanity and for the future that we are building for us and for our children as well. And
Yeah.
since you mentioned emotions and being emotional, I wanted to ask you, what is your journey around fear? Have you learned
Okay.
anything from your fears? How do you see it?
Okay, you're lucky because I'm one of the most I'm scared all the time of things. Like it's just like my mom is like that, I'm like that, and so I never thought I would become a founder. That's why I was in risk and crisis management because I can see everything that goes wrong. It's really good in the job, but in life it's really sometimes annoying if you anticipate everything that can go wrong and then you are like less likely to take risks. But the truth is like you have to get somewhere. And I think what I learned, I think you need to learn to distinguish between you are scared because you are seeing the risk, and if it materializes, then the impact is bad, right? It's like some worst case scenario, or is it your intuition, right? And the thing is, I thought like when I was young and not that I thought I'm really smart. I thought, oh, I'm all these people that are emotional. I'm a rational thinker. I'm just making rational decisions. The biggest bullshit ever, because every time I had a bad feeling about something, it like I was like yeah, it basically life punched me in my face. And I learned from it. So I'm listening to intuition. And like sometimes people tell me, okay, I lost my intuition. You cannot lose your intuition. Is more you're maybe not that used to relying on it anymore. So the thing is, if you feel anything, you feel good about something or bad about it, just follow that feeling and make the decision accordingly. And by doing that, you will retrain listening to that feeling. And the other thing I had to learn actually not that long ago, that having this gut feel is not an indication. Having this gut feel is proof. You don't need additional proof. If you have a bad feeling about something, you don't need additional proof. That's proof enough. And that means trusting yourself and feeling that, okay, I have a bad feeling about it. I didn't do it and that was correct. Or I had a good feeling about it and I did it and it was good. Helps you also with self-confidence and like trusting your inner compass and your intuition and your instincts. And that's something I can highly recommend.
Wow. We do forget, Priscilla, you're so right. We do forget to use the gifts that we have inside of us because we truly have everything inside of us. As much as life sometimes happens and we do get scared and everyone gets scared, I think it's the most natural thing in the world, right? Because fear also has such a great role in keeping us alive and safe. But it's really important to know that it's all here. It as you said, it's not lost. It's just we put other things on top And we just need to learn how to prioritize the best things that can truly give us the support that we need. And oh my God, thank you for sharing this. This is amazing. It really reminds me to homecoming. We need to basically come home to us, return to us, to the power that we have inside of us. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, Priscilla, what would you say that inspires you the most in the world? What keeps you going every single day? Because I see how busy you are.
Okay, I have I don't know. I think it was the question that someone asked me quite some time ago. And someone asked me, okay, if you're gone, what do you want to leave? Like what impact, like what is your legacy basically? And I have regularly this like short sequence in my head where I am basically seeing myself at my funeral and people standing around, and that makes me think about, okay, the impact I want to have. And it is that I want that when I'm not there anymore, that the people were grateful that they met me, not because of me, but because I gave them hope. Because I have to cry every time when I say that, but I don't want anyone in the world to feel alone, and I want to show everyone I meet in life that they are important, and they are, I want to make them feel they matter and they can achieve everything they want, and that I accept them, and that I respect them, and they are lovable and they deserve love. And that's that's so dear to my heart, because I think every one of us knows like bad bosses or colleagues that literally ruin your life, right? Like if you have one toxic person around you, it can really destroy your hope. It can really, it can really get to you. And then you also meet people just by the way they smile at you, or you talk to them 10 minutes, and it restores your faith in the good in people and that life is good. And we all think every one of us has an impact, if we want or not. If we get out of the house and we are passing by a person, if we're in the coffee shop talking to the person, if we are, I don't know, working with people or spouse, or like literally we are interacting all the time, and a lot of us are not aware that we can make or break someone's day or month or year. So we are responsible for our reaction, and we can use that. It's really powerful to to be good and be kind and make people feel loved, or we can use it to destroy. And I think it's such a beautiful thing to be aware of it, and what power and impact you have just by being you, just by being kind, mm, just by showing respect. That is what drives me. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for being so open and so vulnerable, because it got me emotional as well. And thank you for
Now we
that.
are both crying.
Yes, I appreciate that, because these are good tears, tears of happiness,
I hope so.
for sure. Thank you for this amazing reminder. What a beautiful life we can have when we go about our day and think, I can make someone's day or I can break someone's day. This is really powerful, and it gets me to, question certain things as well. So I appreciate that so much. Oh my God.
No,
I
it's
am
I
grateful for our talk, and grateful that, our makeup still looks good.
Yeah, I thought so as well. It's like so fun.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
amazing.
one thing, that's because your podcast is about fear, right? And I figured out fear often comes if you are very busy thinking about yourself and you're concerned with your own stuff.
Yes.
But really, it helps you if you have a mission that drives you, because the more you think about other people and about like bigger things, the less you feel your fears. And if, for example, if I feel like I am getting more worried and more concerned about things, it's usually because I'm either more focused on my ego, just being honest, and what people think and how does it look and so on, or if I start thinking small. And then it's good to pull out again and go literally on this bird eye thing where you zoom out and then you see, why am I doing it? And it's like, it's important that you don't do things for you, but you have like this big vision, and basically this literally kills your fears.
Wow. I so resonate with this. You know, Priscilla, as a fear specialist, I talk a lot about conquering the fear of speaking in front of audiences, in front of colleagues, and at work, in front of people that need to hear your message. And you are so right, 100% agreeing on this. When you put focus on you, it's done.
Yeah.
You're nervous, right? You have all these emotions. I'm not good enough. I don't look good. My hair, my makeup, my clothes. But when you focus on delivering the message, on helping, on your audience,
Yeah.
wow, it all goes away when you just want to help. Thank you for mentioning this. This is something that we need to consider on a regular. I mean, we just cannot be letting our egos be in control. And it sometimes happens, as you said, it's all work
Yeah.
in progress, right?
It's normal, and actually it's also the main thing with networking as well. So I mean, most people are not natural, and they, like me as well, and are scared of being rejected. I think that's one of the biggest fears. And that happens because then you start worrying about, what do other people think of me? Or also people are scared of building a reputation on social media, even though it's really important, because they are bootstrapping their business, and they are too scared because they think, oh, I post something and what if someone doesn't like it? And the thing is, if you switch your focus to the other person, like being generally interested in getting to know them, figuring out where they want to go, really figuring out how can I help the person on that way. Or for example, social media, think about how does what I know and the lessons I learned in life, like how does it help people? Then you stop worrying automatically. And if you go back to worrying, oh, I'm thinking about me again. So it's a good indicator that, it's like a warning lamp. If you're getting scared or worried, then okay, I'm busy with myself again. So, yeah.
Wow. This is really amazing, Priscilla. I'm loving this metaphor. And it kind of, it sums up what happens inside of us when we are scared. I'm scared, I'm stressed, I'm anxious. Okay, a step back. It's just too much of me. Let me take me out of the focus and focus on the people around. This is beautiful, Priscilla. What an unbelievable and inspiring talk today. And I have got to thank you for making me cry, because I just had a breakthrough. I just realized how important it is to not let ego rule our day. This was major. And this is something that I'm truly working on a lot right now. It's like my number one priority. So I have got to thank you for being here with us, Priscilla. We need to do a second episode together.
I'm
It's
totally up for it.
it's necessary because we have so much to talk. And before you go, my dear, can you please tell us, where can people get in touch with you? Where can they sign up for networks? Please tell us all about your socials, your website, everything, because I know that everyone will want to get a chance to have at least a coffee with you or a virtual coffee.
Yeah, I'm always happy to meet interesting people, and so it's my pleasure to connect with you. So the best thing to get in contact with me is my LinkedIn. So you find me under Dr. Priscilla Schelp, but you will write it also in there, right, Roxana?
Yes,
Like someone
definitely.
comment, and yeah, you can sign up for networkx. So it's www.networks.app, but it's better you write the link so that the people can just copy, and you can sign up for free. So if you're interested in joining exclusive clubs, so my platform itself currently isn't doesn't cost any money for you, so you can sign up. And otherwise, I also published a book that helps with, I mentioned it, become your super self, to yeah, become self-confident and build a good connection with yourself, because that's the basis basically to build proper connections to other people. So if you want, I can share with you the PDF for free, so your audience can read it. And yeah, otherwise I have Instagram and TikTok as well, but yeah, LinkedIn is like my main home turf, kind of. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Priscilla. Definitely, we are going to have every detail of yours listed in the description of our YouTube video and on Spotify as well. My fearless friends, have a talk with Priscilla. I was really privileged to be in her amazing energy and her wonderful company today. What an honor, Priscilla. Thank you so much. And I look forward to being in your amazing club and to see what more amazing things you create next. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you a lot for having me, Roxana. And I think what you do is really important, because we all start somewhere, and we are all scared of many things, and in different ways. And I think it's like we are all needing to grow and to learn to, love yourself, love others. And I mean, it's every one of us is scared, and to understand that, like, I think most of us feel scared and feel alone. We think we are the only ones. We are somehow damaged, or that's not normal, and literally everyone has it, and everyone feels alone with it. And I think the more we speak about it, and the more we are being understanding and just accepting and loving, the easier and the better it is. And that's why I thank you.
Wow, what a beautiful ending. Thank you for all the inspiration, my dear.